Welcome back, guys. I'm your host, Johnny, and this is the Investing for Beginners community. Now, today you're tuning in because this is the part 2 of part 10 of how I can change your mind on how financial freedom can be easy. Now, this is the 10-step guide ebook that I have created just for you. So stick around to the end. We got some great stuff to give away, and you're not going to want to miss out on future videos. So smash that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, and join the community of over 70,000 members now, guys. Yes, that's right. There's roughly a little less than 4,000 on YouTube, but we are growing community with a strong newsletter, a weekly newsletter, and a private Facebook group, over 70,000 readers and members, all like-minded individuals just like you, trying to figure out how they can increase their earnings. So let's get into it. All right, part 2, guys. Financial freedom can be easy, and there's only 10 steps. Now, if you're just tuning in, this is part 2 of the series. Now, this is on YouTube and on the podcast, so let me know below what you're listening on or watching on. Also, so financial freedom to a teenager might mean cutting ties between the bank of mom and dad. To an adult, it might mean never having to work again. Either way, I'm going to show you how financial freedom can be easy. I'm going to break it down, and this is part 2. So let's get into it, guys. I'm so excited to be here today. I hope you are too. We are going to create a new mindset for you today, a different way of thinking on your money and how you can take control of your spending habits and how you can pay off your debt and everything all crammed into this part 2. And it's simply titled, Create Small Steps That Will Get You Where You Want to Be. And that's it, guys. Where do you want to be, and how can we create small pieces, small chunks that we can chip away every day to get to that point for you, right? Well, becoming financially independent isn't just one single goal, but a series of sub-goals that you kind of have to stack on each other and incorporate and build on top of each other simultaneously. Now, this is because your financial life has several aspects, right? Now, in order to reach your overall goal of financial independence, you'll have to establish goals in different areas of your financial life. Now you may be asking, well, Johnny, what exactly are those areas? I might not know. I'm so new to this. All I know is I get X amount of dollars and I buy stuff. Now what, right? I mean, we're talking new, guys. I mean, thank you for all my fellow newbies out there who are not quite newbies anymore. When you join the following, you become a newbie, and eventually you'll become a novice or an expert investor. But you all start as noobs or newbies on and in this community. So welcoming all our newbies to this great channel, welcome and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Oh boy, it's going to be a fun one for you. So what are the various areas? Well, increasing your income is one of those areas, guys. Now, you cannot make minimum wage forever. It's your first job. You might be out of high school. You might be transitioning into college. You might be getting out of college. Or you may still be living with mom and dad. You might be at the parents' house, maybe 30 years old. I don't know your current situation, and whatever it is, that is fine with me. All I want to do is improve your situation, and it starts with increasing your income. So you cannot stay on minimum wage. And if you are, then you're definitely going to want to at least have 2 minimum wage jobs. So you could have one for bills and one to kind of save and invest and kind of catch up, right? But you can't really do that on minimum wage. So you have to increase your earnings first. Get a higher paying job because you're going to have to get a higher paying skill. And yes, this does take time sometimes, but if you do it correctly and you follow these 10 steps in this ebook, you can get there much, much faster. Consider me as your online mentor to financial freedom. Cut 20 or 30 or 40 years in half and become financially free today now that you're young. The system is rigged, and we do not need to be spending our lives working 9 to 5 to get a retirement or pension. We need to create our wealth. Do it now that we're young. Do it now that we're in our 20s or 30s. That's the majority of the viewers on my channel. And really push it so that way when you're like 40, 45, then you can retire early. That's what we're trying to get to. If you can get earlier than that, fantastic. But it all starts with increasing your income, because you cannot save pennies. You can't save pennies, guys. Okay, it's never going to happen. Now, the second area of your financial life should be controlling your spending habits. Now, the more you make and the more you save, the more you can actually have and use to build wealth. That is important, okay? If you make more money, usually people will just increase their spending with the money. So their income goes up, their spending goes up, and there's never really a gap. You want to keep that, you want to increase that gap so your spending stays the same and you're constantly increasing your income. And this gap gets bigger and bigger for you to invest more and more. Now, easier said than done. I know, easier said than done, but follow these 10 steps. We're going to get there, guys. Okay, this is just part 2. We're going to get there. Part 7 is where it's at. Part 8 is like, whoo, almost there. And once you get to 9, you might as well just check off number 10, right? So you're not that far off from being financially free. Do the first one, then the second one. If you haven't watched what the first step is, go back. The first step is achieving, or what do you want to achieve? That's what it is. What do you want to achieve is the first step. So go back and watch the first step and then start on step 2. Do not skip a step. Now, the third area of your financial life should be to pay off debt. And better yet, don't get into debt, right? Stay away from debt. Now, it's okay to have a credit card. It's okay to get multiple credit cards. It's okay to get a car loan if you have a really low APR. But being a young adult, possibly still a teenager, you're not really going to even have credit. So don't fall in those traps where you're going to get a brand new car for $500 down and have to pay 24 to 30% interest on a $20,000 or $30,000 car. You will be paying that car note far longer than probably the 72 months that they're signing you up for. Yeah, 72 months, guys. That's the new normal standard for car loans. Crazy. The interest on those is nuts. So do not get into debt. Now, the fourth various life. Now, bear with me. There's only 2 more. Now, the fourth one is understanding your investment objectives. You need to understand, what do you want to do? What is your goal? I want to make $100,000 and live off of dividends. Well, you probably won't make that much off of dividends. Even if it's at 10%, that's only 10 grand a year. So make sure that you understand what your investment objectives are. Do you want to live off of your income? Do you want to grow money quickly? Do you want to invest in real estate? What is your investment objective? And write that down and understand it. That is a very important part of your financial life. I need to make X amount of dollars to live. Do you need $1,000 to live? Do you need $5,000 a month to live? Well, only you know that answer, and that is where your critical thinking comes in for one of your areas of your financial life. Now, this is starting to sound a little bit like homework, I understand. But guys, this will change your life forever. Trust me, it will. Now, planning your long-term financial goals is the last part of the various area of your financial life. Now, planning your long-term financial goals is slightly different than your investment objectives, because your long-term financial goals are going to be, again, how much money do you want to make? How much money do you need to make to survive? What do you have planned in the future? Are you going to have multiple investments? Are you going to have multiple businesses, multiple income streams? Are you only going to have one stream of income? Now, long-term financial goals are important. For example, you can say, I want to make $20,000 a month through investing and small business. And then from there, we can establish that as one of your goals. You can also say, I want to make $1,000 a month in dividends. We talk a lot about dividends on the channel. I want to make $1,000 a month in dividends, and you do the calculation. So you actually need quite a bit. You know, you probably need about 12,000 a year, 120, at least $120,000, something like that. So what are your financial long-term goals? Now, with all that said, guys, it's important that you create this list with a corresponding goal related to each individual category. That will ensure that you're moving your entire financial situation forward rather than just trying to do it one category at a time. Make this list. Write these 5 things down: increasing your income, controlling your spending habits, paying off your debt, understanding your investment objectives, and planning your long-term financial goals. Now, once all 5 of those are on some paper, what you're going to do is go back and you are going to create at least 10 action steps for each one. And take your time. This isn't going to take 2 minutes or 5 minutes. This may take an hour. This may take a couple of days, but what you're going to do is start with the first one, increasing your income. And I want 10 action steps on how you can increase your income today. What can you do? Can you work longer hours at work? Can you ask for a raise? Can you take on a little side gig job, possibly dog walking or babysitting? Do you know somebody that needs help with something, right? There is so many ideas out there to increase your income. Take 10 action steps and start with that first one. Then do the second one on controlling your spending habits. What are 10 action steps you can do right now and that you can write down to control your spending habits? I know a couple that I can control right now, right? Subscription services. I have probably 4 or 5 of them that I don't even use. Buying drinks and snacks and, you know, stuff like that when you're out and you're just driving around, maybe, you know, that's another one, right? And then paying off debt, right? 10 action steps for paying off debt. And then, of course, do the last 2 as well. Now, if you've got this far into the video, please let me know in the comments that you did. Throw 100% down there for me or something like that. And remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next part of the series. It is going to be a 10-part series, so definitely follow and join the community, guys. There is going to be a link in the description notes below, show notes if you're on the podcast, and let me know what you're watching or listening on. Are you on the podcast listening, or are you on YouTube? I don't know. Start talking to me. Let me know where you are, where you're from, and let's get more involved in how we can change your life and get you to the financial freedom that you deserve. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part 3. It's where it gets intense. It's going to be how to live beneath your means. So don't miss it, and finish that homework, because I want to hear all about it. DM me on Instagram, and I will DM you back, and we can talk more. I want to hear some of your strategies, some of your action plans, and I'm here to listen. So I'll see you there.